Well, I mean, it means a lot more people are paying attention once again. We know how much Caitlin drives ratings. We know how much Caitlin drives attention on the WNBA. And for her to come back and do it in that way was just ridiculous. I mean, I'm sitting there at the end of the first quarter when she had that 38-second stretch where she drained deep three after deep three after deep three. I was just sitting there thinking, I've been around this league since 1997. I have never seen that.
WNBA veteran analyst Rebecca Lobo delivered remarkable commentary on ESPN's First Take regarding Caitlin Clark's exceptional abilities and significance within professional women's basketball. Her assessment carries substantial weight given her extensive experience and knowledge of the league's history spanning nearly 3 decades. Clark's recent statistical achievement created WNBA history, becoming the first player to record 100 points, 30 rebounds, and 30 assists within the initial 5 games of any season. Her 32-point, 9-assist performance against New York Liberty marked a triumphant return following injury recovery.
In a WNBA game, have we seen players go on runs? Of course we have, but not like that. Not where a couple of the three-pointers are from 30-plus feet. It was an exhibition by her. After being out for 19 days to recover from an injury, couple that with the other passes that she made and some of the other plays, it was just ridiculous. It's not often that you're watching the WNBA or that I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I've just never seen this before.
Lobo served as the broadcast commentator during Clark's return game in Indianapolis, providing first-hand witness to what she described as an extraordinary basketball exhibition. Her enthusiasm for the performance reflected genuine amazement at witnessing something entirely new within the WNBA context. During the opening quarter, Clark executed a remarkable 38-second sequence that left seasoned observers stunned. She connected on consecutive deep three-point shots, with several attempts originating from distances exceeding.
Rebecca, first of all, it's wonderful to see you, and I got to tell you, I mean, I'll talk to you and complain about the WNBA not helping me out with tickets, okay, at a later date. I'll talk to you about that at a later date. Right now, let me focus on Caitlin, because the girl comes back, she does a thing, 32 points, 55% shooting, 7 to 14 from three-point range. I want to know, in your estimation, where do you rank her as a shooter in the WNBA, and considering her assist, where do you rank her as a player in the WNBA in just her first 1.5 seasons in the league?
Lobo emphasized her extensive league involvement since 1997, stating she had never witnessed comparable shooting displays during WNBA competition. While acknowledging that various players have produced scoring runs throughout league history, Lobo distinguished Clark's performance by its unique combination of distance, accuracy, and timing. The demonstration occurred immediately following a 19-day injury absence, making the execution even more impressive.
Steven, it's funny because I was listening to your last segment where you were talking about Steph Curry and you said he's the greatest shooter God ever created. On Saturday, Caitlin Clark certainly looked like that for the WNBA in terms of what she was able to do. As a player, she finished last year 4th in MVP voting. This is a player this year is second favorite right now.
Clark's shooting exhibition extended beyond individual statistics, incorporating exceptional passing ability and overall court vision. The performance helped Indiana overcome an 11-point deficit against the defending champion Liberty, showcasing clutch performance under pressure situations. When questioned about Clark's shooting abilities relative to other WNBA players, Lobo drew comparisons to Stephen Curry's impact within the NBA. She suggested Clark demonstrated similar transformative shooting capabilities during her return performance, establishing herself as the league's most exciting offensive threat.
In MVP right behind Nafisa Collier. Last year she was the best guard in the league. So, in terms of the context of the history of the league, time will tell. But in terms of the impact she has had both on and off the court and one season plus, it's certainly right up there. We were talking with our crew after the game. We got at least 10 more years of watching Caitlin in her absolute prime. And it's so exciting. It's so fun to watch her. She's certainly the most exciting player, certainly the most fun player to watch in the league right now.
Clark concluded the previous season ranked 4th in MVP voting, while current season projections place her second behind Nafisa Collier for MVP consideration. Lobo identified Clark as the premier guard in women's professional basketball, highlighting her comprehensive skill set beyond pure shooting ability. The performance statistics supported Lobo's assessment. Clark achieved 55% field goal shooting, while connecting on 7 of 14 three-point attempts. Her ability to maintain accuracy while attempting shots from extraordinary distances separates her from traditional shooters within the league.
And we're just going to see kind of her legacy continue to grow as she has more performances like we saw on Saturday. And again, time will show how long is it going to take her to get that Indiana Fever team to a WNBA championship. What stood out most to me, Amina, was that Caitlin Clark, even being out for those 3 weeks, did something on the basketball court that I've never seen a player do in the WNBA. And that was that stretch that you were just talking about, that 38-second stretch where she came down and hit not just 3 threes, but 3 bomb threes. And she did it in a first quarter where the New York Liberty had an 11-point.
Lobo's evaluation carries significant credibility due to her comprehensive exposure to WNBA talent throughout the league's existence. She has observed legendary players including Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi, and Della Dunn during their peak performances. Despite witnessing these Hall of Fame careers, Lobo maintained that Clark's unique combination of skills and impact represents something previously unseen in women's professional basketball. This assessment from someone with nearly 30 years of league involvement provides substantial validation of Clark's exceptional abilities.
Lead, and Indiana needed her to come out and do that to kind of get back into the game. Her passing was on point, her scoring. Steph White took her out a little bit more, gave her a little bit more rest than we're accustomed to seeing from Caitlin Clark. She still played 30 minutes in the game, but that she had no rust, had a performance like that. And you could see the joy on her face, especially in that interaction you saw with Breanna Stewart about how happy she was to be back on the floor.
Now, if y'all don't know who Rebecca Lobo is, Rebecca Lobo.
The broadcast team discussed Clark's remaining career timeline, projecting at least 10 additional years of prime-level performance. This projection suggests sustained excellence that could reshape league dynamics and establish new performance standards for future players. Clark's impact extends beyond individual statistics to encompass team transformation potential. Questions regarding championship timeline for Indiana Fever reflect expectations that her presence will elevate organizational success to championship contention levels.
Has been around the WNBA since close to its existence, right? She was one of those players who came in right around the WNBA was created. And for her to come out and say she's never seen anything like this, yo, that just shows how special Caitlin Clark is, man. I don't know how much I have to show, how much I have to say to help people understand how special and rare Caitlin Clark is. This is a player that's seen Cheryl Swoops. This is a player that's seen Cynthia Cooper. This is a player that has seen Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore. This is a player that has seen Diana Taurasi.
Clark's return generated immediate viewership increases, reinforcing her status as the league's primary ratings driver. Her absence during injury recovery created noticeable declines in audience engagement, while her return restored typical viewership patterns associated with her participation. The performance demonstrated Clark's ability to maintain peak performance levels despite extended absence, suggesting consistent reliability for league marketing and revenue generation efforts. Her visible enjoyment during competition, particularly evident in interactions with opposing players like Breanna Stewart, reinforces her marketability and fan appeal.
Now, when I was in the chat and I said Caitlin make them girls different, y'all was in the chat talking about
8 rebounds, 9 assists, 32 points. Almost
I said, bro, who was in the chat when I said that? And then they was in the chat hating. I literally said, I think they was playing Dallas or something, and I was like,
DB didn't play.
Oh no, actually that's when Dejanay was on here, because I was like, we was talking about the game, and I basically was like,
Coach Stephanie White's rotation management provided Clark with additional rest periods compared to typical playing time, yet she still contributed 30 minutes of game action. This strategic approach may indicate long-term sustainability planning for maintaining her performance levels throughout the season. Rebecca Lobo's extensive experience within WNBA circles provides unique perspective on player evaluation and historical significance. Her involvement spans multiple roles including player, analyst, and broadcaster, creating comprehensive understanding of league evolution and talent assessment.
well, the other team might have a chance because Caitlin ain't playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then everybody in the chat was like, and I was like, bro, what is y'all talking about? That girl make that team different. And everybody was in the chat hating, and I said, all right, bro. And now look, what I say.
She is 1,000% right. All right. I remember the video. I think I made a video on it because she was clowning Dejanay and her team.
Lobo's witness to every significant WNBA era enables informed comparisons between Clark and previous generational talents. Her emphatic statements regarding Clark's uniqueness carry weight precisely because of this comprehensive exposure to league history. The assessment suggests Clark's career trajectory may establish new benchmarks for individual excellence, while simultaneously elevating league-wide performance standards. Her ability to captivate audiences while producing historic statistical achievements creates dual value for both entertainment and competitive aspects of professional women's basketball.
So yeah, there was a moment going around where she was saying, hey, they might have a chance. I think it was the Connecticut Sun, if I'm not mistaken, might have a chance to beat Caitlin Clark and them, or maybe it was the Mystics. I can't remember who they were playing, but yeah, she said it, man, and it's the truth. We saw what happened with the New York Liberty on Saturday, man. Caitlin Clark is a huge piece of this team, man. She is the motor, the steering wheel. She's everything, all right? She is everything to this team. And that's not to diss the team. I think they are a very capable and competent team, but they need Caitlin. I mean, look at how far back she stretched the defense.
The timing of such recognition during Clark's second professional season indicates accelerated development and impact compared to typical career progression patterns. Most players require several seasons to achieve similar recognition levels, while Clark's immediate influence suggests exceptional natural ability combined with rapid professional adaptation. The broader discussion surrounding Clark's impact touches on fundamental business considerations within women's professional sports. Revenue generation versus profitability represents crucial distinctions for league sustainability and growth potential. While organizations may achieve revenue targets, actual profitability requires careful cost management and efficient resource allocation. Clark's ability to drive both attendance and viewership creates opportunities for improved profit margins through increased ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and media rights valuation. The resistance to embracing Clark's popularity within certain league circles represents questionable business strategy given her demonstrated market impact. Organizations typically prioritize talent that drives financial success, making any reluctance to fully utilize her appeal counterproductive to long-term sustainability goals. Investment return considerations become particularly relevant when evaluating player marketing strategies and league promotion decisions. Clark's proven ability to generate audience engagement suggests significant return potential for marketing investments and promotional campaigns centered around her performances. Recent social media activity has highlighted commentary from Courtney Williams regarding criticism directed toward Caitlin Clark during a live streaming session. Williams addressed negative remarks from viewers while defending Clark's impact on the Indiana Fever organization. During the broadcast, Williams observed strong performances from multiple players, noting that while Sabrina Vayonesha demonstrated exceptional play, Clark's statistical output warranted equal recognition. The discussion centered around Clark's impressive performance, including 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 32 points during the referenced game. Williams recalled previous instances where she had commented on Clark's significance to her team's success. During earlier conversations about games where Clark was absent due to injury, Williams suggested that opposing teams might have enhanced opportunities for victory without Clark's presence on the court. The streaming audience responded negatively to these observations, prompting Williams to defend her assessment. Her position emphasized that Clark fundamentally alters team dynamics and creates significant challenges for opposing defenses.
Like, you might have your moments or whatnot, but when you have perfect defense, perfect coverage going on, and the quarterback scrambles on you, you throwing your playbook out, man. You're like, I don't know what to do at this point. You do your quarterback spy and all that. You do all that good stuff, and they still getting yards on you. Sometimes you just throw your hands up. That's what happens to defenses when they have to deal with Caitlin Clark shooting 32 and beyond, okay, from the three-point line. It's ridiculous, man.
The discussion highlighted Clark's influence on team performance and defensive strategies. Williams compared Clark's effect on basketball games to that of a scrambling quarterback in football, creating unpredictable situations that disrupt conventional defensive planning. Clark's shooting range extends well beyond the standard three-point line, forcing defenders to extend their coverage to unprecedented distances. This creates substantial spacing issues for opposing teams, similar to how mobile quarterbacks force defensive coordinators to abandon traditional schemes. The extended defensive coverage required to contain Clark's shooting ability opens significant opportunities for teammates. Interior players benefit from increased space, while perimeter players gain advantages through off-ball movement and screening actions. Williams emphasized that Clark's contributions extend beyond scoring, highlighting her exceptional court vision and passing ability. This dual threat capability makes defensive preparation particularly challenging, as teams must account for both her scoring potential and playmaking skills. The conversation expanded to hypothetical scenarios involving league-wide redrafts, with Williams suggesting that Clark would be universally selected first overall if organizations prioritized basketball considerations over other factors. This assessment acknowledged potential exceptions based on organizational politics or agendas unrelated to basketball performance. Williams referenced specific teams where external considerations might influence decision-making processes. The commentary suggested that most organizations, when focusing purely on basketball impact and potential, would recognize Clark's value as a foundational player for franchise building. Williams' statements touched on broader themes within professional women's basketball, distinguishing between players focused primarily on basketball excellence versus those emphasizing social activism. The observation suggested that basketball-focused approaches benefit league growth and development. The discussion advocated for unity within the league, emphasizing the sisterhood concept among players regardless of external differences. Williams contrasted this with professional men's basketball, where such divisions appear less prominent. This perspective emphasized competitive excellence and mutual support as essential elements for league advancement and public engagement. The streaming incident demonstrated mutual respect between elite players, with Williams acknowledging Clark's obvious talent and impact. This recognition from a respected veteran player carries significant weight within basketball circles.
It's ridiculous. It opens up so much space. Now it's so much room to run around, set off-ball screens, confuse the defense. There's so much that the Indiana Fever can do when Caitlin is on the floor. And then the fact that not only does she shoot like she has a magnet in the ball, she has an eye, a golden eye, for passing and facilitating. Dog, that is just a dangerous player all around. I don't care what you say, man. Any organization starting a new team right now and you had to redraft everybody, I guarantee you 1,000% everybody would pick Caitlin Clark first.
Williams' background as point guard for the Minnesota Lynx provides credibility to her assessment. Her partnership with Napheesa Collier in pick-and-roll situations represents one of the league's most effective offensive combinations. The commentary suggested that professional recognition between players helps establish authentic hierarchies of talent and impact within the competitive environment. Williams' observations included references to upcoming collective bargaining negotiations,